A. Okay. Alright, we are live. Oh my god. I'm just wait till I'm gonna just wait till I get more people pouring in. But yes, hello, hi. Hi. Oh my god. I sound like I have a dry throat. That's cause I do. But yes, hi people. Hi people, what's up? Let me just drink my water and stuff. Oh my god. That was a big ol' gulp. Big ol' gulp. I'm eating my dinner right now and then we can get started. But I think as of now, I've finished the storyboards. Hold on, I'll be back. I want to add seasoning to my dinner. Oh shit. Okay, I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I put my laundry in the laundry machine to wash, so you guys are gonna be stuck with my laundry machine for a bit. Okay, I'll be back. Just give me like a minute. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Hi everyone. What's up? So, I feel like this is not the best day to stream. I'm not really getting as many people as I usually do, but that's okay, I don't really mind. How are you guys doing, by the way? How are y'all? How is everyone? I just went for a minute to put my, put some chili oil on my rice. But, if I don't get that many streamers, or, if I don't get that many viewers within the next hour, I'll probably just, I think I'll just, end it early. No shame though. Okay. I'm doing pretty okay. I feel like weird it only says, yeah, I know, that is weird. I think there's like at least 2 people, but yeah, I'm doing okay. I feel like today I had a pretty bad day. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm doing okay, honestly. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I can go into detail about it, cause like it has to do with my living situation. But yeah. I think so it's not just viewers that they count. They count it as a concurrent viewer, which means like someone who has been here for a while. So I think when you're I think once you've been watching for like a couple of seconds, it just says that you're like a considered a viewer. Or like probably like a minute. I don't know. Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm probably just gonna vent about it to a few of my friends. I don't want to do that here where it could get archived. I just feel like that's like really petty and immature. Because yes, I do archive these live streams. So I'm probably just gonna wait till after to just air out all that stuff. But yeah, in short, I had like what was it? Woke up, ate breakfast. I went to go help someone some more, and then I came home to some more shit, and then I cleaned my room just to get my mind off things, and then now I'm here, and I'm gonna live stream for 2 hours like I always do, and then probably call up some friends, and I'm thinking of working out. Like, okay, like I don't want to go on a whole like I'm starting my weight loss journey. Like, I don't want to go on that. But like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna say like I'm in a good state of mind. I'm not gonna like just be like, this bitch, she did all that. And, like, I'm not gonna like, no, I'm not like that. I'm not messy like that. But yeah, no, I don't want to be like one of those like I'm starting my weight loss journey like kind of girls. But like, low key, like, because I know if you announce it, it's like you have to commit to it, because then people are like, what happened to that weight loss journey? But I actually am thinking of I'm thinking of going to the gym later on this evening. I don't really have like an immediate goal in mind. I don't want to be all like, oh, I want to be like 100 pounds or something like by 3 months. Like, that's not realistic. But yeah, I don't have an immediate goal. I just want to like, I don't know. Okay, my mom, she came over today. And she dropped off some food for me. We have a bit of like an odd relationship now. Like, she did kick me out, but like she's like nice to me sometimes. But she brought some food for me, and right now I'm just eating pulled pork and rice. But I drizzled some chili oil and I cut some chives over it. Yummy, yummy. Also, if you guys can hear some weird like rumbling and stuff, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm doing my laundry right now. I had a day off of work, so like I felt like I could finally fit in everything I wanted to in one day. Because like when I was living with my older family, well, I don't live with a new family right now, but when I was living with my family, it felt like I could only get myself to do one thing a day before I would get like mentally burned out just from living there. But like ever since I moved here, I've been getting better at like managing to fit in a lot of things in one day. And I know that's just like part of being an adult, but like I just want to say, like, cuz I've been told that I should just have this figured out essentially. I just want to say, any new adults in here or whatever, like freshly new adults, like take it easy on yourself, okay? Like, take it easy. Like, you will learn those things. If people are giving you a hard time, being all like, just, if people are giving you a hard time, like, you don't owe them anything, okay? Like, it's okay. Like, you're gonna learn at your own pace. But that doesn't mean you're gonna take 20, 30 years to figure it out, okay? That doesn't mean, like, you need that to, like, you're gonna eventually learn it. But, like, don't slack off either. Don't slack off either. Yeah. It's 10:30 right now. Yeah, I know. See, my issue with streaming is that I'm not able to stream early in the day. And a lot of my viewers seem to be on Eastern time. And that, like, that, like, genuinely annoys me because, like, I don't get off work till 3 p.m. my time, which is, like, 6 p.m. for a lot of you guys. And, I like to spend whatever time I have until I stream, like, cooking or just, like, resting in my room. And I feel like 7 p.m. my time is the earliest I can stream to where I feel like I got a lot done comfortably while the sun was still out. And then I can, like, and then after I stream, I can, like, rest and do some more things, like go to the gym or just fall asleep. I don't know. Hey, is Maria gonna be mentioned in SHSA? Okay, so, yes, definitely yes. She's actually going to be in the show, not just mentioned. Let me pull up her design because, like, I didn't really talk about, like, I've talked about it before a little bit, but I haven't mentioned it. I haven't, like, shown, like, I don't know if you guys know what her design looks like, to be fair. I don't remember where. Oh wait, that's a different file. I don't know where exactly was it in high school? I don't know which, oh yeah, I did this one for my I'm Back promo thing. I don't know exactly which frame it is. I don't think it's this file, okay. I don't know exactly which file, sorry, I'm like messing up on my words. But in terms of that, I just haven't added her in because, like, well, it's only the second episode, but also, I'm thinking of having her, like, it's gonna be its own little arc, you know? Maybe it's Meow? Oh, okay, there. Okay, this is what I've intended Maria to look like. And I might as well just talk about her now because why not? Like, if you have the time to scrub through hours of live stream footage to get to this point, then, like, I'm not really spoiling. You're just, like, a dedicated fan or whatever, but to anyone in here, like, I'm letting you in on insider knowledge, which is what these live streams are for, but, like, if you miss it, you miss it, and then you gotta scrub through, like, hours worth of, like, live streaming footage. But basically, this is Maria. I inspired her. I based her off of 2000s fashion, but specifically, like, kids 2000s fashion. Like, if you know, you know. And I've had, like, some people on other servers say, like, because I post my art everywhere I can. I've had some people say that, like, oh, like, this is a very 70s inspired outfit. And I'm like, yes, but no, because, like, I want my stuff to be more 2000s inspired, and I can understand when people say that it's 70s inspired, because, 50 years ago, right? But you have to understand, like, if you're into fashion like that, you would know that, like, there was, like, a lot of fashion in the 2000s that was directly inspired by stuff from the 90s or by stuff from the 70s, because, like, you know, if you know the 20-year theory, it's like, oh, people living in that time period, they want to get inspired from stuff like 20 years ago, because 20 years ago is considered vintage, right? So I took inspiration from that. I have an outfit similar to Maria's that I wore when I was, like, around her age as well. Yeah, if any of you guys wore this type of clothing, like, it's my absolute favorite. I wish there was a name for it. And more importantly, I wish girls' fashion was still like this. I actually really like girls' fashion. Like little girls' fashion. It's all really cute. I wish they made them in adult sizes, but more importantly, I kind of wish that like you weren't so stigmatized for spending your adult money on cute stuff. But I just like girls' fashion mainly because like I want to have a daughter. Like I think I actually want kids, but I don't want a son. Like that's the thing. Like I want kids, but like I definitely want a daughter so bad if I were to. But like I know that's not how reality works. So like I feel like I need to grow up a little bit more before like, you know, be like, oh yeah, I want a kid. Cause like say I get pregnant and it comes out to be a son, like I don't think I'd be mentally equipped for that, you know? Yeah. I don't think I'd be mentally equipped for like the cope of having birthed a son instead of a daughter. I just think girls are like so precious and adorable and like yes. But like I also get anxious about bringing a female into this world for obvious reasons. Or I feel like the world has just gotten a lot meaner and more dangerous. Okay, but daughter rant over. That's also why I love like drawing cutesy stuff, and yes, I watch a lot of like slice of life moe stuff in my free time. It's just also cute. Okay. Oh, why is she in a bonnet? Is it because of her illness? Yes. So, rather than her being shot by the government, like in canon, I made her a hedgehog. Because I wanted the only family to be the Robotniks, and like, one of my biggest issues is that she looks nothing like Gerald or Eggman at all. And I know like genetics run differently, but there's not a singular trait that these three have in common, other than like probably sharing blue eyes and fair skin. And like, I actually talked to my boyfriend about this, but their last name has like, I believe has like German or Russian rooted last name, like with the nick suffix in their last name. So like I have no sort of like knowledge on like, you know, I have no sort of knowledge on that like sort of stuff, but I do know like she's 12. So in canon Maria is 12. So either she could be like, because she's 12, she's at that age where like theoretically she would start going through puberty and looking a lot more like the Robotniks. Or she could be like a late bloomer for all we know. But we don't know anything about her from the game. She's like appeared in one game for like a couple of seconds, and then she appeared recently in Sonic X Shadow Generation. So I have no knowledge. We have no knowledge about like how she's supposed to develop, right? We only see her as like a child around that pubescent age, right? And so because of that, I always felt like, okay, well, I don't even think Sega was thinking that deeply about how she's gonna grow and be a person, like, be like physically similar to the Robotniks. I know they weren't thinking about that. They just wanted a pretty blonde girl with blue eyes, right? So, for Sonic High School Asylum, let me take a quick bite of my food. Okay. For Sonic High School Asylum, I made her a hedgehog. Even though Eggman and Gerald will still be humans, I made her a hedgehog because I was thinking, oh, like, what if the humans adopted Maria, right? What if Gerald adopted Maria, right? A hedgehog. I don't know. And then, but she has a terminal illness. And the thing is that what I'm thinking about is having the doctor, a doctor takes in different child trope. Like, you've seen it. If you don't know what it's, what the best case, like, if you don't know what I'm talking about, good examples are the Truman Show, 11 from Stranger Things. What's another good example? It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh, the Umbrella Academy. They all have this overarching trope where it's like, oh, this really smart, like, psychologist or doctor, like, takes in these different or sickly child to, like, observe or experiment. I don't know if I'll delve into Maria's past like that, but, like, I'm sure, like, I want to definitely imply it with the way Gerald treats Maria and Shadow, because my whole plan is that, like, oh, well, he adopts Maria. Maria has a terminal illness. Like, it's just cancer, right? It's a terminal illness. She makes friends with Shadow. Shadow has a rough home life, but I'm not gonna show the parents, because, like, I don't know. I don't feel like doing that. I just feel like showing things, but not showing faces. Shadow has a rough home life and gets, like, really attached to Maria. And, like, Shadow has to be removed from the house. That's how bad his home life is. I mean, I'm thinking, like, this is why, like, oh my god, I feel like I'm saying too much. Okay. I need to, like, draw this stuff out, though, because, like, I'm very passionate about this. Okay. So, like, I have so much planned regarding Shadow. Like, it's not even funny. Like, he might as well be the main character, okay? Okay. So you have baby Maria. She's born. She's one of those, like, she's one of those children that are, like, adopted from infancy, so she does not know her OG hedgehog parents, okay? But she's adopted by... Let me actually make this into a family tree, because fuck it. She's adopted by Gerald. We'll just, like, there. And then Gerald has, like, a son, but, like, a lot older, because she's gonna be, like, a baby. A lot older. He's gonna be, like, that's gonna be Eggman, right? But, like, think of him as, like, already a young adult when this happens. So he's already a young adult while this is going on. And he's already kind of, like, older. And so she's, like, a baby or something. And then you have, over here, then you have Shadow. Little star. I'll just draw a little starfish, okay? Now, Shadow was born to, like, two random hedgehog parents. This is in my AU, by the way. So this is in my AU. So they both married, and then they had little baby Shadow. But these people are bad people, okay? Like, this is part of why Shadow grows up to be very, unbothered of a person when it comes to darker subjects like violence or anything. This is part of why it's very easy for him to be indoctrinated and to fully believe in the Black Arms Race stuff. The Black Arms Race, the bar shit. We'll just say bar for short. But because of his rough home life, it's a lot easier for him to grow up being a troubled youth. Now, this is in parallel to, like, what a lot of quote-unquote troubled youth experience. It's a lot more easy to indoctrinate them into, like, violence and stuff, like gangs and stuff like that. Yes, it is indoctrination, because let me talk about the bar stuff, because I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it a few times, but I always delete my messages because I don't like them being, like, easily accessible. I like to show and not tell, but I know I want to keep you guys interested. So I'm moving all of that lore stuff to these streams. So if you miss it, you miss it, okay? I'm not repeating myself a second time. Okay. So the thing is, though, I have mentioned it before, yeah. The thing is, though, Shadow is actually born to bad people who are associated with the Black Arms race. They're associated with the Black Arms race. Now, In my AU, there's one of two ways. There's one of two ways you can get into the Black Arms race. You're either indoctrinated, so you either have the DNA of someone with black arms, which Shadow does have, right? That's how he got into the Black Arms race gang. This is a gang, by the way. This is a gang / terrorist organization in my AU, okay? I need to make that very clear because, like, I don't want any misinterpretations. So there's one of two ways that you can get indoctrinated into the Black Arms race in Sonic High School Asylum. And I know this sounds really fucking crazy. Like, oh my god, like, she's definitely not gonna crank out all these ideas in time. Trust me, I will have time to. I will make the time to, because this is the most important storyline. Shadow's whole backstory makes everybody, like, it just, everybody's always connected, like, type shit, okay? Okay. One is by having the DNA of a Black Arms, okay? Or, right? The second option is to be fully indoctrinated, because it's basically like a cult, okay? I don't know how to spell the word, but it's basically like a cult / terrorist organization. I don't even want to call it a gang. It's straight up a cult at this point, because the beliefs of the Black Arms organization are very, like, not that I would support them if they were a real thing. They're more equivalent to, like, damn, I don't even want to equate them to anything because I don't want to come off insensitive, but think of, like, the whole thing with the Black Arms race in my AU is that they're a cult / terrorist organization that seeks to indoctrinate anybody into believing that the only people who should rule the world are the Black Arms race. Because think about it, if you guys have ever played Shadow the Hedgehog or have ever watched, like, a gameplay of Shadow the Hedgehog, that is their ultimate goal. Their ultimate goal is to take over the world, right? Right? So, in my AU, I'm just taking it a step further and drawing parallels to how people would view, like, I'm just drawing parallels to, like, you know, the concept of a cult / terrorist organization. I'm not comparing this to a specific cult or terrorist organization. I'm not inspired by a specific cult or terrorist organization. I will make that very clear right now so that nobody tries to come for me being like, oh, she got inspired by this name of the cult, this name of the terrorist organization. Like, no. I'm not inspired by a specific one. It's more like the concept of it, okay? So, because, again, like I said, okay, back to the whole thing. The Black Arms race, their whole belief in canon is to take over the world. They're a race of aliens that want to invade planet Earth, or Mobius, or whatever, and they want to take over the world and rule it. Now, thinking about how crazy the political climate is in America, because I know a majority of my viewers are in America. I'm an American myself, right? Could you imagine, okay, anytime there's been a political tensions arising, the rise of cults and terrorist organizations have been, like, higher. I mean, think about, for example, I think a notorious example of this is I don't remember if it was called Heaven's Gate or if I'm thinking of a different one, but it's the one where they made people drink the Kool-Aid and it had poison in it. That was during the 70s when there was a lot of political tensions, like, probably, like, almost as bad as it is now. A lot of political tension. I mean, it's just a historical fact. Anytime there's political tensions arising, people will turn to anything to believe in. And so, I'm not gonna get into that with this AU. I'm not gonna get into, like, oh my god, like, they live in a dystopian government, like, I won't get into that, like, in detail, like, I'm not gonna get into, like, the bigger picture, but, like, I do have plans for Eggman and Gerald Robotnik, because obviously they'd be connected to the Black Arms race, and I'm gonna explain that in a second also, okay? Anyways, it's a lot, in this AU, because of things happening in the real world outside of Sonic High School Asylum, because of things happening in the world within Sonic High School Asylum, there's gonna be a lot of people who will be indoctrinated by the Black Arms race. Now, I know you might be thinking, what the fuck does Shadow have to do with this, besides him being related? And what the hell does Maria and what the hell do these people have to do with this? This seems like a completely unrelated plot. Okay, let me explain. This is like a huge thing I've been cooking up in my mind, basically like for a year now. Okay, so sit with me. Now, Shadow has parents who were in the Black Arms race. Now I'm still figuring out what to do with them. I'm thinking like I don't know what to do with them yet. I'm thinking either they left it completely or they died, because I know I've planned for Shadow to be the leader or a co-leader of the Black Arms race, or just a very high up position, because I've touched upon this before. How do you think Shadow is able to afford an apartment and have it paid for him while he goes to school, doesn't have a job, and isn't even 18? Right? That's because he's being funded by the Black Arms race, because he's a higher up, right? Now I'm thinking his parents had ties to someone higher up. Now I will let me make a chart of the Black Arms race hierarchy that I've come up in mind. Oh my god, this is like hella autistic, but bear with me. The leader of this entire thing is like an immortal being. I forgot how to draw him, but it's gonna be Doom. Black Doom, right? So you got Black Doom at the head. This is number 1. Think of it as like the cult leader, the one that came up with all of this, okay? Because he's the leader of the race of aliens that want to take over this world, right? And then you got his 3 trusted people. He's got 3 trusted people. I just chose the number 3 because, I don't know, it made sense in my head, to divide the power by 3 other higher-ups. So you got, what is that one character in Archie who's like part Black Doom and he looks like an echidna? You got that dude. He looks a little bit like Knuckles, but like he's black. I forgot his name. Yeah, Black Doom is an alien. I mean, he is. Yeah, he's Black Arms. He's the leader of the Black Arms race in canon, so of course he would be the leader of this Black Arms race in this AU. But yeah, he divides the group up. He divides by 3. Now, you got this, the weird Black Arms dude from the Archie comics, and then you got Enerjack. Yes, Enerjack. I believe that's his name. And then you got two black arms like aliens. I'm not gonna draw them right now, but I'm just gonna do these little squid things. Now Enerjack is or actually hold on, I forgot. I'm supposed to add Shadow here. You got Shadow and you got 1 Black Arms, okay? So you got two part Black Dooms, or 2 part Black DNAs. Oh my god, why am I not doing good with my words? Okay. Wait, yes, Eclipse. It's Eclipse. Yes, it's Eclipse. Oh my god, thank you. Okay, Eclipse. You got Eclipse right here. Eclipse, you got Shadow, and you got one Black Arms DNA. So I'll do 1 BA. Now the thing is that in my AU, all these 3 top positions used to only be BA only. So there used to be like in gang racism, in cult racism, but they expanded it to people who are half Black Arms, such as Enerjack and Shadow. And that's because the cult realized, wait, we need to get more people. We need to reach more people. We can't just like be exclusively Black Arms, because then we won't gain as much of an audience, right? So, anyways. Now, the thing is Shadow is new. Because, like I said, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing. When all of this is going on with Shadow's parents, Shadow's a baby. So he's like around the same age, or, well, he's not a baby. He's like in 1st grade. They're like the same age, by the way. So whenever Shadow's in high school, Maria would have also been in high school. But unfortunately, she died very young. So, you know, right? So because Shadow is younger compared to Eclipse and the Black Arms dude, Eclipse is mentoring Shadow to be the next higher up, or to be better at his position at being higher up. These people here are older than Shadow. So Shadow is being mentored, right? And therefore is being further indoctrinated. So underneath these three positions in my AU for the Black Arms race thing, it's just the rest of the people. It's just the rest of the Black Arms gang terrorist organization. Everybody, all the followers, everybody who follows this organization, right? These four people speak to the masses, speak to people. They try to indoctrinate. Now, Shadow is known, but he's not known outside of the group. Because again, Shadow's still like a high schooler. Shadow still goes to school, so he conceals his identity. Think of it as like oh, there's a secret member, but like only the people in there know, and the secret member like only reveals himself during meetings because he doesn't want his identity to be revealed. Because again, this guy, like Shadow, he has a feeling, he knows it's wrong. He wants to protect his identity, because like I said, he still goes to school, but like that's actually part of the reason he's gone a lot of the time anyway. He's actually hosting meetings at the Black Arms race meetup spot. I don't fucking know. Okay, so I know you might be thinking, how did we get here? How did we get here? So let me finish the whole thing with Maria. So I'm thinking his parents had connections to the previous higher up positions. So whoever was in Shadow's spot in these two spots, or whoever was even in these three spots before, must have been either related or would have probably even been Shadow's parents. I'm not gonna go into detail. I'm not gonna go into like the detail of these fake made up parents that I made up for my AU, but needless to say, Shadow's basically a nepo baby within this cult, and once his parents died, he assumed that position. Now the thing is I have to explain this. Shadow was a baby, and his parents, he got taken away by like child protective services like around like first grade age, right? So he didn't even know that these parents were associated with the cult, and if he did, it would have just been normal to him because he's a kid, right? He wouldn't have questioned it. So what I'm planning to do with Shadow is do this whole sort of thing where it's Black Doom finding out where Shadow's whereabouts, being like, oh my god, this kid's alive, what the fuck? Let me talk to him. And he goes up to Shadow and he's all like, yo, like, you know, you're like low-key an heir within this cult that you're a part of. Come join us. Like, we'll pay for your food. You won't be homeless anymore. You won't be in the foster care system anymore. Like, you're gonna have it all good, trust me. But you're gonna need to learn a few things because you're technically like an elite person that we've all been wondering where you went. So at this point, you're asking, well, where the fuck did Shadow go if he wasn't like, you know, where the fuck did Shadow go if he wasn't at living with the Black Arms race? Let's see. I'm still trying to figure out Maria and Shadow's relationship because I don't want it to be weird. But like I've wondered if how they met, like, you know, oh, he found her pretty at first, he found her really cute, but then, and like was very protective of her because like she's very weak. Think of what was that from the Peanuts, Linus and this one girl, that one girl with cancer, Linus and that one girl with cancer from the Peanuts. Think of that. But that was clearly a crush, so I feel like that doesn't work with what I want to put down, which is like, cause like I want it to be like how it is in canon, where like, oh well, like Shadow would have done anything for Maria, and that's true. But maybe I guess I could just cut out like, oh well, he found her really pretty. Like maybe I could just cut out those undertones, cause like when I'm thinking, yeah, he's very overprotective, but he's like a kid. He's like a kid, right? So like, it could like, I don't know. I guess like, cause I don't want to I don't want to make this creepy. I don't want to make this creepy and weird. I'm still trying to figure out like their dynamic. But like, what I was thinking was, I mean, okay, what I was thinking is like, yeah, bring the ties between the Robotnik family and Shadow, because that's what I want. That's what I wanted. But like, I also wanted there to be an element of like, oh yeah, Shadow would have done anything for Maria, like a fierce friend. Maybe like he found her pretty, but then like, I don't think that'd be comfortable to like, I don't think that'd be comfortable to showcase, because like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea, especially about me. Like, I don't want people to get the wrong idea, but like, because I think it's kind of hard to I know anime can do it, but like people still interpret it the wrong way. But like, I was thinking about like, because like I know you're noticing a lot of like foster like themes in this, because I'm a foster kid myself. There were times where I would move into people's houses and like, I didn't have that sort of sibling bond yet with whichever kid I was with, and like there would be sometimes, I remember I had a specific like crush on this one boy that I moved in with, and like it didn't really click in my brain that we were like siblings yet. I didn't live there, and it was just a harmless like child crush. It wasn't anything weird, right? But I think like I couldn't really put those like, I don't think I could put that in like, I'm sorry if what I'm saying sounds weird, but I don't think I could put that in because I don't want people to like interpret it a wrong way. So I guess like at the most I could do is like, oh well, he's just a really like, I've thought about it, but I was just thinking like, I feel like the most I could do is like, just like, the best I could do is just like, he's just really protective of his friend and stuff. And that's how it is in canon, but I know there's some like interpretations where like it's a little bit more. It just depends on the Japanese side and whoever's writing for Sega. I'm glad it doesn't sound weird, because like I felt kind of anxious explaining that. But yeah, like it's more like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just say what I was gonna say. So, I know you're thinking, how does the whole Shadow thing, okay, with the whole Black Arm stuff going on, this whole thing where Doom contacts Shadow doesn't really happen until like at least middle school, end of middle school. So, I know you might be thinking, where is this age gap between 6 years old and like 14 years old? What happens within this time period? That's like at least 8 years. So what happens within those 8 years? Quite a bit happens in those 8 years for both Maria and Shadow. So let's start from like what happened between like 1 through 7 years for both Maria and Shadow. We'll focus on that. Like I said, Shadow was born into a rough life, abusive family. Maria was born terminal illness, and Gerald adopts her, not necessarily out of being nice, more like, again, you know, doctor experimenting or observing terminal illness, like a weird creature sort of thing. I mean, he still loves her, but like that wasn't his intentions entirely, right? And then they go to school at around like 5, that's when most people start going to school. And they don't meet until kindergarten, right? They don't meet until kindergarten. So think of it as like, oh, they meet at kindergarten, and I'm gonna just draw like what I've planned for Shadow and Maria. So he was just gonna be like, whoa, like, she's like so pretty. She's like the pretty quiet girl, like kind of like how in the Peanuts movie, like that redheaded girl, No, I'm not gonna be like having him blush all the time. I don't think that's like I don't know. But like definitely like Shadow is like taken aback by like, oh my god, this girl at first, right? He wants to know more about her and he doesn't understand why she gets picked on at school cuz like yeah, Maria's very quiet, very nice and she's like I guess like different. So she gets picked on by other people at school and so Shadow's her only real friend and I mean, they're both kids, so like for him, it's just a harmless child crush. Like, oh well, she's just so pretty, but it's nothing more. Like nothing like, oh, I want to be boyfriend girlfriend. Not like that, not like that. But more so like, oh my god, you're really pretty. Like wow, you're a pretty girl, and she's all like, and she doesn't know. She's a kid. Her only focus is just like not being picked on at school, and she likes Shadow, but not really like she likes Shadow, but not like in that way. She likes him in a like, oh, you're the only person who's nice to me at school, right? So they form a bond. This is what I'm planning for Mai. So this happens at around like between like 5 to like 7, but also around this time, Maria is starting to get more and more sickly, and he's starting to get more protective around about her because like he even starts going to the hospital to visit. Now, at some point, I've planned for Maria to just die, and he's just like, wow, I can't believe this happened. Fuck everything, bro. But he's like 6, so he has to go home to like his family, like arguing and beating him or whatever. I know this is like unnecessarily edgy, but like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm unnecessarily edgy, but he's like 6. He's like, bro, I can't believe this just happened. My friend just died. Like, this is like the worst thing that ever happened to me. I mean, it is in general when your friend passes away. But like, keep in mind, he's like 6 and has to go all the way home to like his piece of shit parents that like they have a bunch of issues too. So his life already isn't good at the age of 6, okay, or 7 actually. His life already isn't good. So one day there's an incident where Shadow has to be taken by Child Protective Services, and I'm actually thinking, I thought it'd be interesting, like, to have Gerald. I remember now. I thought it'd be interesting to have Gerald Robotnik be like, you know how Eggman's like the teacher for the high school. I thought it'd be interesting to have Gerald Robotnik be like a therapist or a teacher at like the daycare or not daycare, the elementary school. So like he knows who Shadow is and then finds out about all this and is like, oh, let me adopt you, Shadow. You're very interesting too. You're just interesting. You're an interesting case study or whatever. So let me make a new page because I'm like this looks hella schizophrenic. I'm not even gonna lie. But this does look schizophrenic. Okay. So let me make a new page. So, and I'm sorry, if you need me to slow down, I can. I feel like I sound hella retarded sometimes, like just yapping about everything that's stuck in my head right now that I've been dying to get out. So, this is what happens between the ages of 7 and 14. Maria is dead, so Maria, no more Maria. She's someone who's she's one of those characters that's very not in the story, but haunts the narrative. She just haunts the narrative, and she's only been there for like a single minute, so she's dead. Shadow lives with Gerald after this happens. So I did this because like, yeah, I did this because like I felt like it'd be a different vibe if Shadow was more protective in school, and I felt like they would bond more over there, given that this is a high school AU, it's a school AU. And I also felt like it would be weird if like Shadow had these like puppy love, like childhood crush sort of feelings towards Maria, and they started living together while she was still alive. But more importantly, I also just like felt like it would be a completely different vibe if Gerald took in Shadow to live with him after Maria's dead, after he knows about Shadow's past family, if that makes any sense. So I feel like this path is a lot more like, it's not weird. I don't think it's weird. But yeah, Shadow can't ever like get over Maria. Like, he found her like just like a generous soul, like just this beautiful soul, like life-changing soul. And he's also different. I mean, think about it. In school, when you're different, you're gonna have another quote unquote different person try and befriend you too. So he's also different. Given what he's been through in his life, he's just always been a very quiet kid, and like a very like mature for his age, but just super quiet, like más serio, like this, like just that, like not really like the type to smile. Even as a kid. So yeah, that's him. But he does cry over Maria a lot. That's probably the only time he's like really emotional. And Gerald like takes him in. Like he feels bad because, well, like he misses, like Gerald's also grieving Maria by this point. And he's taking in a kid who was like severely abused, to his only friend was Maria, so they have something in common at the very least. But it's unfortunate, right? Correct. But like, I want to make it very clear that even though Gerald has love for both Maria and Shadow, he's not the ideal father, and it's mainly because he's very he's like emotionally he's like emotionally not there. He's just very matter of fact, very straightforward, very like treating these kids like young adults already, like talking to them like that, but not like being really playful with them. Like, that's the kind of dad I've characterized Gerald to be. Because when I think about the trope of like, oh, prestigious doctor, psychologist takes in troubled children, like, in the Truman Show, Umbrella Academy, other shows and other movies with that sort of trope, you often find with the plot twist that the parent that took them in had good intentions, like, oh, I wanted to take you out of this abusive situation, or, oh, you were born an unwanted child and I wanted to save you from being put in the system. But then you go through the entire show watching and realizing with the main protagonist, this is especially shown in the Umbrella Academy, that the parent that took them in might have had good intentions, but was never really emotionally there. So that's what I'm planning for Gerald Robotnik. So he's just kind of like there, like he had good intentions, but he's not like emotionally there as a dad. So Shadow never really he at least had a better life, but he always felt like something was missing. So this is kind of what happens between the ages of 7 through 14. And given that, they never really like talk over Maria. It's more like a shared silence. They never really sit down and talk about their feelings. So because of that, this kind of causes Shadow to just like, because again, he lost his friend when he was like really young, like 7, right? This kind of just causes Shadow to just be really depressed his whole life. I mean, Gerald Robotnik is a therapist, yes, we can go with that. But I don't know, like I think like he only views that as a job and not something he needs to do, similar to how like many other therapists tend to think. Not all, but many. So because Shadow never really addressed his grief, or never really had someone to address his grief, he just kind of think of him as just being very emotionally stunted from this period. Now here's the thing. Very emotionally stunted, and just very like a wall, like a block, like a brick, like an emotional brick. And I'm sure like this makes sense. I made sure that this would match like Shadow's canon personality, but I'm just doing a very roundabout way of like how Shadow got to this point, at least for my AU. So I'm around like 11, 12, 11 through like 13, 11 to 14. Now we'll go here, middle school. He meets a new friend. He always had a hard time making friends in middle and in school in general. But he meets a new friend around middle school time. Now this is gonna be Rouge. Now this is why she was in the Fault My Life music video, because she was that one friend that he made in middle school and could never really let go of. Or he did let go of her, but for different reasons. So, for all my Shadouge lovers, I'm not really a Shadouge person, but I do know that there's people who admire that ship. This is for you. So, in middle school, Rouge was a weird girl. Now, I've talked about it to Mimi knows, because Mimi voice acts Rouge. So, I've told her what I have planned for Rouge. Now, I know you might be thinking, was someone characterized like Shadow up until this point? What is he doing hanging out with Rouge? What what similarities do they have? Now, they actually have quite a lot in common. Shadow, so Rouge is in the system, as in the foster care system. She's in and out. She's a middle schooler. So let me put this into perspective. She's a middle schooler, but she's already like a very adult person. She is very independent, and she already has like a certain mindset, sort of like a very adult mindset, as in like, oh well, like nobody's gonna look out for me, I have to look out for myself, right? But she's kind of weird and awkward, not like a weird kid, but just a little awkward. And this is just because, well, not only is she in middle school, but like she's a pretty insecure girl, because like she's in the system, right? And she's poor, and she doesn't want people to find out people to find out what her home life is like. I took inspiration off just regular troubled kids, but also like when I think about like bats, because she's a bat, right? I kind of just imagine like, oh, like what if she lives in like a really like dirty house with like, or like a very crowded house, like a bat cave with like a bunch of other bats, and like it's just not a good living situation for her, and she needs to like, it's just not good for her. Like imagine that. Like I was just thinking a little bit like that. Yeah, she's a little pretentious about being independent. Think of like that one middle schooler you meet who acts like a little too grown, or acts like they know everything. And like at first you're like, wow, like she's just really annoying. But like if you've been that way before, or if you've had friends that were that way before, you actually just come to realize that they act that way at such a young age, because like they didn't have parents, so they had to be their own parent. But yeah, that's basically what Rouge is, because I was just thinking about the fact that like in canon, Rouge is so confident about herself, and a very independent woman. I mean, like, it's not like you have to have a traumatic life to get to that point, but I do think a lot about how I just think about a lot about how like seductive and sultry she is in canon. And if I were to like translate that to the high school AU, obviously she's 18, so it has nothing to do with that. But I was just thinking of like, oh well, like that has to stem from somewhere. If we're talking about like her being in school, and like her being like like not like she's an adult, but she's not like you know what I mean, like she's still like a teenager, like if that makes sense. So I was like, oh well, that has to come from somewhere. And like I have friends myself as well, like who have just gone through things that kind of shape you a certain way, right? So around this age, she's just kind of like, she's going through a lot. I've always wanted her to be like that Juicy Couture type of girl. She's not at that stage yet. She doesn't get there till she's in high school, but she's already like shoplifting and like just being kind of like a nuisance. Because she's just grown up a certain way. She's grown up a little bit troubled. She's grown up poor. all that stuff, in and out of the system. Just think of her like that. And because of that, she's not a really judgy person. She's not a mean girl, and we all know this. In canon, like, even though she's a very confident and, like, fierce and independent girl, she's never been mean. I mean, she'll make an occasional quip or remark at Amy, and we're talking in canon, right? But she's never been, like, straight up mean. For no reason, at least. And so I just figured that, like, oh, she's a very nice girl, but she says it how it is, right? And therefore she's not judgmental. So for my AU, she's not going to be judgmental of someone like Shadow. She's going to probably find him cool even, or probably just, like, not be as bothered as how other people are in middle school. Because, I mean, God forbid you're a weird kid in middle school. If you know, you know, right? Now, she's, like, not a weird kid because of the way she presents herself. So people can't tell that about her, but she doesn't like to divulge about her personal life because she doesn't want to invite her friends to her house. If you know, you know. Right? So these two in middle school are friends, and now it's the other way around. He's the only friend that, well, how do you say it? That's his only friend. Whereas before, he was Maria's only friend. Now, Rouge is Shadow's only friend. Whereas before, Shadow was Maria's only friend. So now it's the other way around, right? Now, even though these two have things in common with, you know, growing up in a rough life, in and out of the system, you know, they have those things in common. Rouge even influences Shadow to, like, start getting into, like, oh, like, shoplifting, like, oh, let's ditch school, right? Like, she's not, like, the best influence, but she's still a good friend. Right? But, like, at the end of the day, like, she's just different. They don't have the same personality. They just have things to bond over, right? So, think about, like, 14, like, 15. Rouge stops being friends. Or, like, 16, 14 to 16. We'll go there. Oh, God. My thing is lagging. Rouge stops, like, being friends. I don't have a design for when Rouge is 14 to 16. This is just explaining to everyone the timeline. So, around 14 to 16, oh yeah, also, Shadow's running away from home a lot during this time to go hang out with Rouge and Rouge's friends. Because he likes being there more than he likes being at home. Not like there's anything bad in the home. Like I said, his father, Gerald Robotnik, just isn't there for him. And like, he's just looking for anything to do. Like, any sort of escape. Anything. Just anything reckless to do. Anything impulsive and reckless to do. He's a middle schooler. There's just a lot going on in his head, right? So he's, like, practically never home around this time. But all that fun ends because, you know, 14 to 16, Rouge, well, she starts developing and growing up and just, like, she starts, you know, hanging out with a bunch of more boys now. And I guess Shadow didn't realize it before, but he starts getting jealous. Like, he's like, damn, like, she's a baddie now. Like, what? This sucks. That was my only friend, and like she's hanging out with all these guys now, and this isn't fair, and like, I hate this, and like, this is so stupid. Right? I don't know. Okay. But, and then she grows up a little bit more. She's just like, you know, she's more of when I say they don't have the same personality, I mean, she's an extrovert and he's a clear introvert. So where she's, you know, starting to go out more and starting to flirt more, be more flirtatious, he's spending more and more time, like, pulling away from her because it's just not the same lifestyle that he's interested in. He's not a party goer type of person. He would rather just stay at home all day, right? So he doesn't really feel like they have the same bond that they did before. And he might even be getting a little bit jealous himself because now, like, she is starting to get more attention from guys. And, like, he feels like he never really got that chance. I don't know his exact mindset, but definitely there's some sort of jealousy there. So, and some hurt maybe. So eventually he gets contacted by, so now he doesn't really have a reason to run out. So now this is the start of where he starts becoming a shut-in, because I know most of you are well aware of the whole like, oh, Shadow is a shut-in in the SHSAAU. He is like, the only times he goes out is to like, honestly, just to honestly, the only times he goes out in Sonic High School Asylum is to run Black Arms race meetings, but he spends most of his time inside alone. So like around 15, he gets contacted by Black Doom and gets told everything, that like his family, he has Black Arms DNA, and his family like left all this stuff for him to take care of, to carry on the legacy, dude, carry on the legacy. And yeah, that's kind of how we get to current Sonic High School Asylum Shadow, which I hope that can explain like why he's just so like fucked up in the head, and why he needs to unlearn so many things. Why he needs to unlearn so many things. Like, I hope that can really explain like who Shadow is supposed to be as a person, and like his whole story. He's just had a really rough life, and it hasn't really gotten better, to be fair. And that's the sad thing. That's the sad thing about life for some people. Sometimes it never gets better, and you just have to live with that. It's really hard. It's really hard, but some people it hits them sooner, some people it hits them later in life, that they kind of realize that. Depends on what kind of life they lived, of course, and it depends what sort of place and environment they were born into. But yeah, well, so does Gerald let him run off to bar? Okay, well, it's more like see, I'm still thinking about that part, but I'm thinking like, alright, well, I know Gerald got executed by the government in canon. I don't know what we're supposed to do with him like in the AU. I'm still working that part out, but yes, I know like he's gonna run off and be recruited at bar. I just need to figure out the in between. You're right, I didn't actually figure that part out yet, but that's a good one. Shit, that's a good one. Fuck. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe Gerald, like, maybe Shadow just broke the news to him when he was like around like 16, 17, me like, hey, like, I want to live with my bio family. Like, I don't like being here. Like, I want to be emancipated. And well, Gerald is like, yeah, okay, go ahead. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you're cool. You're chill. Like, do what you want with your life. You're practically an adult now. If you want to make that decision, you can. You're 16 now. That's basically an adult in my opinion, in my eyes. So if you want to make the decision to leave and be your own person, as long as they got your back, it's none of my business. Maybe something like that. I don't know how realistic it is, but given how I already established that Gerald has treated them as mini adults their whole life, I don't think it'd be too surprising or too out of character to just have him be all like, hey, if you want to go run off with your bio family, they're your blood, like, as long as they have your back, you're an adult now, you know how to drive and all that stuff, you whatever, like, do what you want. I don't know. Maybe that's not too realistic, but for plot reasons, maybe that'll work. Or maybe like he has a Black Arms thing, like yeah, I don't know. But then, like I said, like I'm thinking like somewhere around this, like, Gerald seems is emotionally distant, but he seems pretty chill. I mean, yeah, I don't think he's ever really given off stern vibes, not even in the movies. And all of the media, like, he's never really given off stern vibes. So I'm either thinking, like, he just tells Shadow, like, how it is, like, hey, like, I've taken care of you, like, for a good amount of time, but if you really want to go, you can go now. You can go now. I'm thinking either that, or I'm thinking somewhere around this like middle school period where Shadow is just sneaking out a lot and running away. That Gerald puts him up for the system, maybe, I don't know. And then, because like I was saying, like, oh well, what if, like I said earlier, like, oh, what if Doom like tells Shadow that was it contact Shadow and be like, yo, like, I know you don't like being in the system, like, we can pay for everything, your food, your amenities, we can give you an apartment. Like, maybe I'm thinking somewhere around this time he's put back up for adoption. Maybe Gerald dies at some point, you know. Actually, I think I like that more. That feels more realistic, because Gerald can't be old forever. I'm thinking that's more realistic. Gerald just dies of old age, or some complications related to his age at around this period, which causes Shadow to just run out and stuff, and he's in the system again. They're both in and out of the system. And then this stuff happens, and then he gets contacted by Black Doom, and Black Doom's like, yo, like, you don't have to live like this. Join us today. Join us today. You don't have to live like this anymore. But yeah, maybe that's better. Maybe that's a little more realistic. Okay, hopefully this solved the whole Shadow, Black Arms race, Rouge, and Maria, everything to do with Shadow. Hopefully that solved everything, okay? I really hope that solved everything, cause like I know this is like super messy lore, but like if you got it in your head, then you got it in your head, and if you don't, you're just gonna have to wait till I animate all of this to figure it out. But yeah, I hope you guys found that cool. I hope you guys found this entire session cool. I'm not done live streaming. I'm just it's a lot. I need to take a drink of water. Oh my god. Let me go read up on previous comments. Is Shadow's whole story the B plot that may potentially turn into the main plot? Yeah, no, basically. Oh, congratulations on coming out. Oh, hi, scene noob. Hello. I love some fictional cult slop. I think it's all very interesting. Yes. No, I agree. Is Rouge like Gyaru or more scene? Neither. I hate that, bro. I hate that. Okay. People have asked me that, or people just constantly think that like she'd be either Gyaru or Scene. It's a huge nitpick of mine. Like, I actually generally don't like when people view Rouge as Scene, because like I feel like Scene would match her, but the reason I don't like it is because nobody ever draws Rouge as a Scene queen. They just draw her as a Scene kid, and there is a clear difference. Like, it actually genuinely bothers me when like people are like, oh my god, Rouge is so Scene, she's such a Scene girl, like, and then I see fan art and it's like, y'all, like, you had every opportunity to make her into like the bimbo version, like the bimbo variant of Scene girls, like the Scene queens that were bimbos with like the big lips and the thin eyebrows. Y'all had every opportunity. It's right in there. It's right in front of you. Like, her whole characterization, if she was a Scene girl, she'd be the bimbo version of one. She'd be like the bimbo Scene queen. And yet all I keep seeing is like these silly raw XD, like so random lol, like, and it's like, no, that's not the kind of Scene that Rouge is. I'm very particular about that. That is not the kind of scene that Rouge is. Rouge would be like the popular scene queen with like crazy ass hair extensions, like big lips, like thin eyebrows, very dramatic eye makeup, like false lashes, that kind of scene queen with the leopard print and everything. Like not this like stupid ass like, oh my god, I'm such a raver with like tons of candy and like I wear like furry leg warmers. Like, no, she's not like the weird quirky scene girl. She's like the it girl of scene queens. That's what she would be if you guys were to make her a scene girl. I need to see fan art of that. If not, I'll do it myself because it really does piss me off. Like, genuinely, I don't know, because I've just gotten more into scene culture, and it's like, bro, there's different types of scene kids, and the one y'all are drawing Rouge as is like pissing me off. Like, I'm baffled at how bad y'all don't get her. Yeah. And then as for Gyaru, like, I don't think, like, I think that does fit her, but it has to be a specific Gyaru. I'm not a big fan. Like, I would see a lot of Kogal, like, and I'm like, okay, maybe if it's a high school IU, maybe, because she'd still be in school. But, like, I feel like at Agejo, Agejo, the Agejo, let me spell it in the chat. I feel like Agejo Gyaru, or however you pronounce it, that would fit her most. It incorporates a lot of cheetah, leopard print, big hair, big dramatic makeup, like most Gyaru looks. However, the core belief of Agejo is to embody Rouge's personality in a sense. Like, you know, be confident about how you look, show off your body because you're an adult, you're very sultry, you're very seductive. You're ready to handle any man that comes your way and just like be a man eater, right? That's the core of that specific subculture. And yet I don't see many fan art with her. It's gotten better in recent years, but if there's any nitpick I could possibly do about her being Gyaru or scene, please just make her like a MySpace scene queen. Don't do this whole quirky like raw XD scene look for her, because I could see that for Amy Rose, but with Rouge, no, she's a lot more confident in her sexuality, yeah. But me personally, in Sonic High School Asylum, tangent aside, sorry, that was a long tangent. Sonic High School Asylum, I've made Rouge neither scene or Gyaru. I've actually made her to be, I've made her to be more like the Ed Hardy, Von Dutch, Juicy Couture girls, like, very blinged out, like McBling. I don't like using that term, though, because, like, there's when you search up McBling, all you get is Paris Hilton and white girls, and, like, no, this is, like, think of this as, like, the young Thea, or maybe, like, a young black girl that, like, dresses in all, like, blingy and, like, rhinestoned everything, and, like cheetah print and lashes down and everything, like, but think of this as like the young Thea with like the highlights in her hair. That's what I want Rouge to be for this AU. Very similar, but like I just don't like the term McBling because all of the inspiration is usually just white women, which I don't have a problem with, but it's not exactly what I'm trying to embody with Rouge. Sorry, I don't know why I circled that. I think this little 6 is bothering me. Okay. Maybe Gerald makes deals. Why does Sonic wear a dress? Okay. I will answer that. That's gonna be another long tangent. Oh my god. It's gonna kill me. It's gonna kill me the amount of tangents I'm going on today. Okay. That's gonna be another long explanation. I've been waiting for someone to ask me that. Alright. I'll answer that though. Definitely. Okay. Maybe Gerald makes deals with the Black Arms himself, kind of like Canon. Hi. Oh, hi, Roxy. Hi. Rouge dresses like a black queen. No, definitely. But like specifically like the 2000s, early 2010s. Like, I don't know if I could see her like maybe some modern stuff. I don't know. I like 2000s fashion, but I don't want to make Sonic High School Asylum set in the 2000s. No. Um, I just don't want to like land myself into any more complications. In my opinion, I'm not up to date with all the fashion. I just see pretty outfits and occasionally incorporate it into what I wear. Yeah. Okay. Where is Metal Sonic? Where is Metal Sonic in Sonic High School Asylum? Metal Sonic is here. I made a design for him actually. He's here, but I don't think I'll introduce him until the 3rd episode. And right now I'm working on the 2nd episode. So like, just sit tight. Basically, the whole story revolving around Metal Sonic is just. He's just different. He's manufactured in Japan and he's sent over to an American high school, and like everybody like kind of lightly picks on him for looking a lot like Sonic, but like he's not in on the joke because he doesn't understand what they're talking about. So like it's just a little he's pretty lonely. Yeah. But he wants to prove himself. That's his whole thing. Why would a robot go to school? Okay. Now I'm not quiet because you got me there. I'm quiet because I have a very good reason. So I've actually planned for Omega and Metal Sonic to go to Sonic High School Asylum, to go to high school, because Robotnik, Eggman, he has robots around the school. And droids and everything. I mean, like, he runs the school because his daughter is the principal. I know it's really weird. But yeah, he runs the school because his daughter is the principal. And there's a bunch of robots and everywhere. And like, he's adopted Metal Sonic and Sage. And also, like, I know, like, or he didn't even really adopt Sage. He made Sage. Yeah. So there's gonna be this whole thing where, like, the Robotniks are part of this. They're part of the elite society that, like, everything is digital and technological and whatever. I'm out of words for tonight, y'all. I'm sorry. I spent all of them on like talking about Shadow's story. But yeah, I guess like again, I know all this sounds serious, but I've planned to like at least incorporate some silly elements, like, you know, Shadow. Even when Shadow's like shut in by himself in his little apartment, he goes on like 4chan because that's like where all the Black Arms race, they go to spread their propaganda. They all go on Twitter and 4chan, and they all like type on their computer, be like, here's why you should join. Quit being a human cell and join the Black Arms today. And like, they're all a bunch of trolls on the internet, but like they still have serious meetups. Okay, I don't know if that makes any sense, but I just thought that'd be a little silly. Yeah. Will Surge be in Sonic High School Asylum, or is it just Game and Archie characters? I wanted it to just be Game and Archie characters, at least the speaking characters, just because I feel like they don't get enough love. All of them. I feel like there's just way too many Sonic characters that just don't get enough love or go unnoticed. And I just wanted to dig some of them back up and use them. As for the IDW characters, I feel like they're too new, and I don't know if I want to use them yet. But I would definitely like draw them as cameos, like definitely for sure. Like if I need extra characters for a scene. So Metal Sonic is still Asian. I mean, I guess, yeah, he's manufactured in Japan, so you can go with that. Oh, but let me explain. Let me answer that question from earlier. So, oh my god, this is really hard to talk about. So I know, like, if you've known me, you've known that, like, I always kind of provide a different reason. Like, if you ask me directly, I've always provided a different reason for why Sonic wears a skirt. whether it be like, oh well, like I don't know, I've just always provided a different reason. Um, Under the video for Sonic High School Asylum, and anytime I promoted it though, I would just say like, oh well, he just doesn't like pants, he rips through it fast. But I'm here to explain today like why, like there's, it's not like it's one specific reason. There's a reason like from a design perspective. There's a reason within the AU, and then there's like a bit of a backstory as well, right? So from a design so okay, let me just start from the beginning, like where this whole thing came from, because like why are you, cause like why are you having Sonic wear a skirt? That's a little weird, and he's a man. Like, okay, listen. When I was coming up with Sonic High School Asylum, the idea just popped into my head, randomly when I came home. But if you guys have known me from past live streams explaining where I got Sonic High School Asylum from, you would know that I got it from the breakup between me and my ex, right? And that I was inspired to sit down and actually make the show, because of the pain my ex left me in, the emotional pain, right? So, actually, let me make his skirt longer. I actually like drawing. I like drawing Amy's skirt short because she's a girl, but I like drawing Sonic's skirt a little longer, because I don't want to give the impression that he's like super feminine. I'll actually explain like his little sexuality stuff, because a lot of people are interested in that due to the fact that he does wear a skirt. But I'll explain that in a bit. So, it just randomly popped into my head like, oh, I thought it'd be really funny if like I drew him wearing a skirt. Let me actually pull up the file. Like, and I didn't mean that like it'd be funny like, oh, people will laugh. I meant it funny in like a whole like, oh, it'd just be like a juxtaposition. This is the original drawing. Yeah, you can see he's still very smug and stuff. This is Amy's original design. You can tell it's very different now. But yeah, so sorry. But again, most of you guys know that I got inspired to make Sonic High School Asylum because of the emotional pain that my ex left me in, right? Now, I didn't realize it when I first made it. This was not intentional when I first made it, because again, like I said, I made it him wear a skirt because I thought it'd be funny. But when I started to heal and move on from my relationship with my ex, I actually like unblocked a memory, and I realized that like I was inspired to make Sonic High School like I wasn't really inspired, but like some concept I ended up like, the concept of making Sonic High School Asylum kind of came from a previous like roleplay that me and my ex would do, and I okay, if you were to ask me to roleplay now, I would never. Like this guy traumatized me, okay? Let me say that right now. But let me also say that even if there was some stuff that was like, you know, even if there were some things that was like, you know, inspired off of unintentionally, I don't like the roleplay that we did. It's just something that I guess just stuck in my mind, very subconsciously, and I ended up realizing parallels. Because while I was making Sonic High School Asylum, while I was working on the pilot, I actually was working on a Google Doc compiling evidence to call him out to my friend group at the time that was still friends with him. And so I had recovered old messages of us role-playing, and I didn't even realize that some of these were things that I had intended to put in Sonic High School Asylum. Well, not really. I didn't even realize that some of these things were like similar at the very least similar. In this roleplay, this would have been around April of 2023. Sonic also wore a skirt, but he wasn't, but he was trans, whereas in this AU, he's not. He's like a straight or not straight, not entirely straight. He's just a cis dude, just a regular old dude. And there was also another parallel that Sonic was like homeless and just kind of couch surfing. And I had actually intended to put that in the AU for Sonic High School Asylum. I haven't touched upon Sonic's story, but I was very inspired by the fact that and this is probably what my ex was also inspired by too. So I don't believe this is just strictly from that really gross old roleplay, which I'll get into why it was gross. But I believe this is just a thing that's common within the fandom to just kind of headcanon Sonic as being homeless. So I did the same thing for my AU. Yeah, no, homeless Sonic mentioned. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. Because I don't want to feel like I'm having to like explain myself to avoid being canceled. Oh my god. But yeah, like for this AU, I'm having Sonic be homeless. Because that's a very popular headcanon that I see floating around a lot. And he couch surfs at Tails' house. I like to believe that a lot of them are like homeless foster youth, or not homeless, but like just at least in the system, because to me it would make a lot of sense, because I don't want to have to like, what is it, like give all these characters parents, and God forbid I get these fake parents characterizations wrong. I don't know. It just feels like a lot of work. To me, it feels a lot easier to like add a lot of fan servicey angst and like explain all of this away by being like, oh well, these kids are just really troubled. Like these high schoolers are just so troubled. Like they just have issues. It's just a lot easier, but it's a lot easier to say like they just have issues, but like they overcome it through the power of friendship or a bunch of other shit. So Sonic is actually canonically homeless. Yes, that too. So, but yeah, but like, you know, in the context of it being a high school AU, like, if you're in high school, you'd go home to your parents every day, right? You don't have your own place, right? So because of that, he doesn't have his own place, so, he just couch surfs at Tails' place within this AU. And I actually like that detail about him too, because like it makes him more relatable, and also like I don't think every mascot needs their own like big ol' house and like a motorcycle, a car, or anything that like is exactly like has their name and face on it, you know. I don't know. I just don't think it's that realistic. But and then for that roleplay that me and my ex did, there was also another parallel that Shadow and Maria and Gerald Robotnik had an apartment. Now, in my AU, obviously I've already explained Maria died at a very young age, but in the AU that I had made with my ex that we were role-playing back in 2023, Maria was like the older sister, and Shadow was like in high school, and Maria had been suffering from a terminal illness or something, and Gerald died, I think Gerald died or something, I don't even know, but yeah, right, I don't think that's a parallel, but it was just similar to how we were trying to figure out their dynamics. The only thing, the reason I blocked out this roleplay, was because I think my ex focused a little too much on the fact that Sonic wore a skirt, and he also made Sonic like a victim. I don't know if I can say the word, but I don't feel comfortable saying the word regardless, because I just think it's disgusting to like oh my god, bro, bro, these are Sonic characters, like I'm sure you can project whatever trauma you want onto them, but like I don't need to know about that. Like, no, ew, fuck that. I thought that was really gross when I first heard it, and I remember I had a breakdown. I couldn't handle it at the time. I'm more desensitized now, but keep in mind this was like during the time where like I was still processing some things. And he was like, oh yeah, Sonic is homeless and he gets money by like selling himself and he's a victim. I'm like, bro, what are we talking about again? Because this sounds like a random ass OC. Like, this is Sonic the Hedgehog from the video game Sonic the Hedgehog we are talking about. What are you talking about? Talking about like, oh, he's a victim. He sells himself. He's a prostitute. I'm like, you're fucking crazy. Like, you're actually fucking crazy, and you're disgusting too, because he my ex was always very weird about trans guys, so I was just like, ew. I don't need to know all that. Like, you can keep your whole little fetish thing like to yourself, because this is not something you're writing. You're just writing trauma porn, but like for Sonic the Hedgehog from the video game Sonic the Hedgehog. Bro, this shit is so dumb, bro. No, I like edginess too. But I just think that was just too much. Like, bro, we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog here. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're embarrassing. Yeah, no, exactly. I think sometimes I can go a little too overboard, with like the drogas and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't think I could. I think themes of drugs and stuff like, I think those are just edgy stuff you can put into something like Sonic, because Sonic can get edgy at times as well. But I feel like involving stuff like heavy, like sexual themes is just a no-go, because like that's just corny. It's just corny at the end of the day. That's why I would rather imply like, oh yeah, Sonic just, this is the other thing. I made it so that Sonic gets around, but I didn't make it so Sonic would be like a, prostitute, right? Because I don't want that. That's a completely different implication than like willingly hooking up and like being all flirtatious. But for my AU at the very least, I was like, oh yeah, Sonic is just very flirty and like he gets all freaky and stuff. Same for Rouge, but I don't want to show that. I would much rather subtly imply it and keep it at that. I mean, I know this was a roleplay between the two of us, so it's not like there were any drawings shown, because it's just a text roleplay, but still, like, my boyfriend, I believe, my ex-boyfriend, he would go into detail, and yeah, no thanks, I'm good. But I think that's where this whole thing with Sonic wearing a skirt came from. It just kind of planted into my mind, because again, you have to remember, like, I came home immediately after the aftermath of the breakup, like a couple days after we broke up for the third time, like for good, and I was just like, and I had the idea of making a show or making a vent about my ex, or that would eventually be a show, and I was just like, fuck my ex, and I based Sonic off my ex. I actually did. I really did. I don't like saying that because I'm always afraid that like he could find me talking about that and then take some credit or find it weird that I still think about him. And no, I don't still think about him. I really don't. Unless I'm just talking about this sort of stuff. But I don't still think about him because, like, no. And it's definitely not the good kind of thinking. By any means. But yeah, I did base him off of that. And that's why in the very first iteration of Sonic, I was just kind of making fun of him. I was kind of making fun of my ex. Well, my ex was never popular, but, like, you can tell this drawing has some sort of hate put into it, especially in this drawing. But, and you can also tell, I feel like the skirt was, like, an afterthought and just making fun of my ex a little bit, because the original drawing, the original sketch didn't have that. And yes, I know, like, there's, like, the light gray sketch and the clothes being added on, but okay, I hope you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So that's kind of the backstory onto why Sonic has a skirt. I'm so sorry if you guys find that weird, but I like to say I feel like it's better to just be truthful and honest than to like have it be uncovered and then awkwardly explain myself. Um, and then obviously in universe, I was just thinking, oh well, because I knew at some point people would ask, right? Now I didn't come to terms with the fact that oh shit, this is like the real reason why I gave him a skirt. For the longest time, I was just like, oh well, it's just funny. But while I was making the pilot, I remember thinking to myself like, oh well, people. I feel like people are gonna want an explanation that isn't just it's just funny at some point. So maybe I should come up with like a reason in universe so that people can like stop being like annoying and asking me all the time. Um, and so I realized, oh well, it's just convenient for him to wear a skirt because he runs fast. I was just like, that's good enough. That's good enough. And it worked. It worked. And now we're here. Now we're here. As for his sexuality, let me address that right now because I know a lot of people are like interested. Like, oh, well, Sonic wears a skirt. Like, is he straight? Is he straight? Like, is he gay? Like, no, he's not gay. Well, he is a little bit, but like, I would say like, I would say he's like a metrosexual, but not even really because like, he's done so like if you were to really put a label on it, I would call him metrosexual, but he's done some freaky things with guys in the past. But I'm not going to show that or draw that. I don't really feel comfortable, but I felt like it'd be like, I don't know, I felt like it'd be important to add to the story just so I could like build upon Sonic and Knuckles' dynamic. Yeah. In universe, it's because he doesn't like pants, but IRL, it's for other reasons having to do with my ex. Yeah, except like I explained the full thing, but like I don't really want that to be associated with my ex. It's just more like being. I just explained that on live stream just to be transparent, but I'm still gonna keep telling people like, oh, I thought it was funny because that was the original intention. That was the original intention. I always like it when people make Sonic a jerk sometimes. Yeah, no, Sonic's still gonna be very like, okay, I think his design also works with the fact that like he is a sassy man. Like in canon, he's a very sassy man. Like he's not super like honestly, aside from him being physical, he's not a really masculine dude. Like let's be real, like aside from him being like physically strong, he's not a really masculine dude. And that's not to say he's super duper feminine because I'm not a fan of when people make him a femboy either. But like he's not as masculine as some people say he is. So I feel like his design also works with him being like a slightly sassy guy. And so I could see him like being a jerk and just like being very quippy, just as he is in canon. Yeah. Is Sonic's characterization still filled with such vitriol, or is he independent from that now? I forgot what the word vitriol means. Let me search that up. A cruel and bitter criticism? Let me see. I think I understand what you're saying. I don't know if he's like that in canon. Maybe he is. I just don't really know that. I know that word, but I don't remember what it like. I didn't remember what it meant. And I can't think of like what it would mean in context. I'm having a hard time putting that in context. Vitriol means like bitter. Like a bit like bitter and rough from what I'm seeing. Wonder if there's a masculine version of that word, male diva. Well, there's himbo, and then there's also metrosexual. That's kind of what that is. Metrosexual is kind of a made-up sexuality for, like, just to describe a feminine guy. But not like feminine like femboy, like feminine like, oh, like this is just a guy who likes to take care of his face, take care of his looks, and he might say something sassy every now and then. And he may even have the gay lisp without even being gay. And he's completely straight the whole time. Like metrosexual just means, oh, you're straight, but there's something a little fruity about you, sort of thing. And not like a DL sort of straight, more like a like you identify as straight, but the way you present is kind of feminine. That's kind of why that word died out. The metrosexual, I like using it, but the reason it died out is because like, well, sexuality doesn't mean how you present. We all know this, but I prefer to use that word because it's just such a easy word. Like, it means what it means. It means what it means. Hey, Koi. I'm probably gonna stream for like 30 more minutes and then it's wraps. Yeah, himbo, I'm not a fan of that word either, but I know some people like using it. I just don't like that word because, like, it's so overused and also, like, it's so cringe to me. Like, it's kind of cringy. Like, the way people use it, I kind of just get, like, older Gen Z vibes from it. I like drawing him with, like, an angry expression. I just think it's funny. Oh yeah, I do tend to think of a blonde person too. How do you organize your ideas or just write them down? I just remember them. I'm probably autistic low-key. I like drawing Sonic a lot because, like, he's taught me to, like, be able to draw a good balance between masculine and feminine. Because, like, oh my god, I feel like I've used this word too many times already. I hate femboys. I really do. I find them all annoying. And, like, the last thing I want people to associate SHSA Sonic with is a femboy. I don't even really like when he looks too feminine in some fan art sometimes. No shade, no shade. I guess it's maybe just the way some of you guys draw him. I know some people just have very, like, feminine art styles in general, when it comes to the way certain features are drawn. But, like, oh my god, PMO, like please, like, bro, like, just draw him as a dude that just happens to be wearing a skirt, not like he loves it or whatever. Yeah. I hate DILF. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I hate it, but, like, I don't think I'd use it. Yo, what's good? What's goody, Mango? What's goody? Was goody? I say it like that because my brother says it, like, the exact same way. He's all like, was goody. It's so funny. It's so funny. But the motivation to write them down is just non-existent. How about the motivation to create? The motivation to create is more, it's what keeps me going, and I just remember all these ideas to create them later. The FNAF 3 glitch was stuck on my screen. It was what are we talking about? What does this have to, what does Five Nights at Freddy's have to do with anything? Okay, Darwin Johnson. Oh my god, I just hiccuped. I have stories and AU ideas, but often when I come up with a new idea for original stories, at least the character ideas I have tend to blend together, and they just seem so similar to each other. Maybe because you just have the urge to create. It's some digital horror thing. What is the Five Nights at Freddy's thing? Oh, I've heard about that. Is it actually a real glitch, or is it like just completely made up? I have the urge to create, but I'm lazy and a procrastinator. I doom scroll on YouTube too often, and I keep telling myself to stop, but it keeps up. Okay. For me personally, um, I have a bad habit of just doom scrolling and feeling very tired. Um, Feeling very tired, especially when I come home after work. And I keep telling myself, "Oh, I'll just do it later. I'll just do it later." This is usually with my room. Like my room is the messiest part of where I live because I have a roommate. I always try to clean up after myself, like always, always. And the only place that is like super messy is my room because like it's just where I live. I don't I don't like I'm definitely gonna clean up after myself if there's someone else living there. I know I should in general, but like it's more of a responsibility if someone else is living there, just out of basic decency and respect. Um, but my room, it's like, well, there's nobody else sleeping with me, so like I don't have as much of an obligation. But at the end of the day, like I still want to clean my room. I don't want it to be like a pigsty. Um, so actually, that reminds me, I need to take out my laundry for a bit. Um, so like I keep telling myself later, later, but I think the best thing you can do, I know this sounds crazy, but if you want more energy, work out. I know this sounds weird because you might be thinking like, "Oh, well like I'm just going to be tired after. Like what's the point?" But like the thing is that you're supposed to feel energized. You're not supposed to overdo it. You're supposed to do it to where you feel energized after your sessions, and you don't even have to go to the gym. You could just do a few crunches a day, walk, run for like 5-10 minutes, like just anything to get your body moving, to get your body used to moving all the time. um Even if it's just like getting up and going to move somewhere else to sit, like if you're that lazy and you can't even be bothered, even just getting up, for example, after you eat, getting up, immediately washing your dishes and going somewhere else to sit instead of where you previously were sitting, like it's like any sort of movement after you eat or after you yeah, it's just perfect. It's just better. It's just better. It'll help you like it'll help like get it in your head that like you need to like move constantly. You need to be doing things constantly. Like it's okay to rest, but I think you should really like save the resting until it's evening time if you want to like do things throughout the day. Yeah, no, I understand, Lace. I understand. When I was living at my other house, I could never work out in my, even in my room, because like I was afraid that they would hear me working out and lifting weights and stuff. It was such a dumb fear, but like I'm very overweight, so I was always afraid that like they would judge me for losing weight. Because I feel like once you're overweight, people get it in their heads that like you're gonna stay that way forever, and like you're gonna be and that you look stupid for working out. But this isn't about like weight talk. This is just simply about like do something every day, do something that's like exercising or active every day, so that your body gets used to constantly moving, and that your body gets less used to sitting. Like what I like to do is immediately after I eat, um, I get up, I try to clean my dishes. If not, I get up and just go to my room. Just something like that. And if there's something I need to do during the day after I eat, or just in general, and I'm sitting for too long, I give myself 5 to 10 minutes to doom scroll, and then I get up and do it. I know it's hard, but like, at least if you can't do that, at the very least set a timer. For me personally, I don't need to set a timer because like, I'm sorry, like I got shit that needs to be done, so like I'm not that lazy to the point where I need a timer. But like if you do need it, then like I would suggest doing that. Or maybe in my living room. Yeah, that'd be cool. I can't live in filth either, yeah. No, the only space that is filthy is and I wouldn't even say filthy, just messy. It's a lot of my clothes thrown around and stuff. It's my room. It's my room. Like I've just been needing to organize it at the like it's not like messy or dirty. Yeah. I think the only thing that was kind of dirty was my laundry, but I put that in the laundry machine today. Hold on. Let me actually transfer it to the dryer. I'm still here because I'm in the garage, but I'm not at my computer right now. Boy, what the hell? I'm transferring my laundry and there's a weird like squeaky toy or stress toy. I've never. What the hell? I've never seen this thing in my life. Maybe it's my roommate's. It doesn't seem like something she'd have either though. Cause like, she doesn't. It looks like something for pets. I don't have a pet. She doesn't have a pet either. I'll probably ask her about that later. It's so weird. This weird little spiky blue ball thing. I might show it to you guys or something. Alright. Hello, I'm back. Got about like 10-ish minutes left of my stream and then And then I'm probably gonna cut it. End it here. Or not end it here. I'll end it in about 10 minutes. Do you think drawing in paper is easier or on a screen? It really depends on what time you spend more. While I was in high school, it was a lot easier. Like, my whole life, it was a lot easier to draw on paper. But ever since I've dedicated most of my, like, lifestyle recently, or not most of it, but ever since I've dedicated myself to Sonic High School Asylum, I found it's a lot easier to draw digitally for me. I'm not good with all the effects and stuff, but I'm a lot more better with the method of just drawing smoothly and precisely and fast. I feel more productive. Okay, food being out and open bothers me so much because I have a bad history with messes. Like, I don't enjoy cleaning up, but I have the urge to clean up with predominantly visible messes. I am the exact same way. I hate the smell of food, especially if it's been sitting out for a while. I don't like food being open because it attracts flies. I like to put away my food and seal it in containers if possible. I think the worst thing that has happened to me so far while I've lived in this new space was that I had to wash my containers twice because I guess I'm not good at, like, scrubbing in between, or, like, it's really hard. It's hard to clean. The plastic, because I eat out of these plastic Tupperwares, it still feels greasy and it bothers me. I can't. I hate when there's too much grease in my food too, because I hate that feeling. So I completely understand you. No, you're not talking too much. You're number one, but you're not talking too much. I like talking to you. Lace. Hi, Red. I have about, like, 10 minutes left till we're off stream. I don't mind on screen, but I don't like how sometimes the art style differs from paper. Yeah, me too. Or vice versa, I guess. But mainly, like, I'll draw something on paper, and I don't like how it turns out digitally. I'm wondering, how does everyone else watching feel about, you know, art? Like, do you guys prefer to draw digitally or prefer to draw on paper? I hate plastic Tupperware, especially when they have spaghetti sauce stain. It's so annoying. I don't mind some Tupperwares, but those are the more expensive ones. The cheaper Tupperwares make me, like, just, I mean, I bought cheap Tupperware recently because I'm broke. I mean, I'm a college student, duh. But, like, I hate it. I hate when I eat out of the container. Not even when I eat out of the container. I hate when I wash the container and feel it to see if it's dry and it's greasy and I have to wash it again. And, like, I'm thinking of throwing away those containers, but then that's just kind of throwing away money. But I'm thinking of doing that because, like, I hate that. I hate that feeling. Okay. I guess today I won't really be working on Sonic High School Asylum. I'll definitely be answering questions and drawing SHSA stuff, though. Or actually, you know what I should do? I should show you guys, I finished the storyboards. Let me show you guys what I have so far. Okay. So I think last time I streamed, I was on here. I finished the storyboard for the entire episode. So, big news, guys. I will be working on the official, like, start of the episodes now. So, like, guys, we're past the storyboard stage. We're past the storyboard stage, and now we're animating, like, the final version, okay? So, root for me, send some love in the chat. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I was waiting to finish this storyboard. This should have taken me, like, 2 weeks, but with all the stuff in my life happening, it's like, now I'm finally getting started in September. Or August, yeah. Soak the containers in soap. I should. Alright, so we're here now. We're here at this frame. I remember being in the streams watching you work on the pilot. I used to pray for times like, oh my god, I remember when you would watch me work. I think you were there September 6th. And by the way, yes, that is going to be a tier on the SHSA iceberg. September 6th will be the 1-year anniversary of Sonic High School Asylum. I don't know what to do for that yet, but I'll figure something out. But I think you were there for the very first live stream, September 6th. Like, if y'all go back to the SHSA live stream, I have a playlist of all these live streams. I think Vess was in that chat. But anyways, I don't want to get emotional. So I got this frame where they're, you know, so let me just play it right now. I got this frame where they're like in the store. Vector, the broke one, he's just like, oh, I have coupons you could use for the convenience store, and everybody else is there. And it's kind of a joke in of itself that someone has coupons for a convenience store that's supposed to be convenient and cheap, right? Mighty over here is like, hey, I don't know if we're spending too much, because, like, okay, I haven't drawn it yet, but there's supposed to be like snacks all over the counter. Which prompts Mighty to be like, hey, like, I don't know if, like, this is gonna cover everything, even with the coupons. SBO here is all like, oh, don't worry about it, like, don't worry about it, it's all chill, like, we definitely have enough money this time. And, Charmy goes away, and he comes back and puts even more snacks on the counter. Let's see what else happens. There's the cashier scanning, asking them about their day or whatever, and they're just kind of quiet and awkward. And then he tells the total. Cashier tells the total, and Knuckles is like the one that steps up for plot reasons. He's all like, yeah, I'm so sorry, dude, like, let me just put all these snacks back. But while he's putting the snacks back, he notices Rouge has walked to the back to grab a drink. And he's all like, oh my god, what the fuck is she doing here? What is she doing here? And she notices he's there, and she gets mad. She's like, what are you doing here? Are you, like, following me or something? Like, what is wrong with you? And Knuckles is all like, dude, like, I have better things to do than follow you. Like, I'm with my friends right now. We just happen to be at the same location. And she starts flirting. She's like, oh, well, if you just wanted to see me, you could have just asked. And he's all like, no, it's not like that. Like, shut up. So they start talking while he's putting away the drinks and stuff. And she turns around, and she's all like, are those your friends? They keep staring at us. And that's the rest of the Chaotix, except for Mighty, because Mighty isn't like that. But yeah, that's Vector, SPO, and Charmy. And then he kind of just face palms. Is like, yes, those are my friends. Yes, those are my friends. And she notices that, like, they start talking earlier about how he has to put the snacks back, I guess. She says that she offers to pay for all the snacks, or offers to pay for some of it. And he's all like, no, it's fine. Like, we gotta go soon anyways. Like, don't worry about it. And then he leaves. Like a little tsundere, of course, because of course. Knuckles is such a tsundere, I'm not even gonna lie. Male tsunderes are funny. So, cut to the rest of the Chaotix hanging out after the convenience store. Charmy, he's all like, what the fuck was that? Like, what did fumble? Like, you fumbled. And Vector's egging Knuckles, being like, yeah, you fumbled. And SPO is chiming in as well. And then, like, Knuckles is doing the whole, like, oh, well, it's not like I like her anyway. She's just really, like, she just knows me. And Mighty is just being like, you sure about that? Like, I don't know. Like, honestly, none of us can speak. We're all single. And Knuckles reassures everyone, being like, no, guys, look, like, she's just some girl in my class. Like, I don't know what her problem is. She just started following me. Like, or not even that. She thinks that like we're like she thinks that I like am cool with her, like I don't know her like that. And Vector is all like, dude, do you know anything about this girl? Because like, you know, and then Knuckles is like, what are you talking about? And SPO is like, dude, how do you not know? There's like tons of rumors about her going around at school. Like, this is why nobody ever really talks to her, sort of. And Charmy chimes in. He's like, yeah, she's a slut. She's promiscuous. And then SPO like covers his mouth because like, why would you say that? So, during this part, they're walking, and Mighty is like just saying like, hey, like, can we stop talking about this? We're about to go pick up my little brother. I don't want him hearing about this stuff. So there's when he says that. And then there he is, Ray. He's the last one to be picked up at school, so he's a little sad. It's his first day of middle school, and I guess he had a bad day. But Mighty is like, he bends over and he's reassuring Ray, be like, oh, don't worry about it, like you still have us, like, by the way, like, we got you some extra drinks or some snacks at the convenience store. And then they all walk off to the sunset because, you know, it's so cute. I don't know, guys. I hope you guys like what I have planned, but that's basically what's gonna happen. The whole episode is just meant to focus on Knuckles mainly, but then introduce like other characters such as Rouge and the Chaotix as well. And then I also felt like introducing Ray, because I don't think I'll show Ray as much during the school, but I at least wanted to establish that Ray is supposed to be the little brother of the friend group. At least when Ray is involved. When Ray is not there, then it's Charmy. But yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I have lots of ideas, but I never do much with them. Yeah, I feel that. I feel like I almost never have time to get down all my ideas. I'm animating SHSA Amy dancing to Caramel Dancer. Oh my god, wait, I want to see. Tag me. Tag both the accounts when you're done. Wait, important question. Does Vector still love MILFs in SHSA? Maybe. Alright, well, I think I'm gonna go for tonight. Definitely tomorrow I will stream at around the same time. It won't be Sonic High School Asylum though. It's gonna be Left 4 Dead 2. It's gonna be Left 4 Dead 2 live stream. So I hope you guys can all come by then. If you're interested in that sort of stuff. I won't really be addressing many Sonic High School Asylum questions, because those should be for these streams, but feel free to ask still if you forget. But yeah, number 1, I loved it. Number 2, my sister says she loves how you draw Knuckles. Really? Thank you. Actually, if your sister's here, thank you. I'm really insecure about how I draw him, because I feel like I mess up on drawing him the most, and for Vector too. But yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. See you all. Alright, good night. See you guys tomorrow if you show up.